In one of the great ironies of history, a boy kneels before a king of France, offering a speech of welcome in Latin. Within 20 years' time, this same boy will bring this king to his knees and be the instrument of his death, and the deaths of many other thousands, in an orgy of bloodletting that will come to be known as the Terror.
Only son.
Sire, the tribute is finished.
All right.
The boy is Maximilien Robespierre. His name will haunt history, along with the names of his colleagues, Danton, Desmoulins, Mirabeau, Marat, Saint-Just, and Lafayette.
I can't believe it. He didn't even speak to me. It's an insult, Maximilien.
Robespierre, Desmoulins, quiet! Get into line!
These were the patriots who gave birth to modern Europe in the cataclysm called the French Revolution. Towards the end of the 18th century, the glory that was France had flourished for 1,300 years. But that glory now belonged only to the nobility and the court of King Louis XVI and his Austrian queen, Marie Antoinette. For the ordinary people of France, reality was squalor, servitude, and starvation. While the privileged classes squandered the nation's wealth, the winds of change were beginning to blow through the country. Food riots, demonstrations, and demands for a voice in the affairs of state were sweeping the land. The American Revolution had inspired France's hopes of a democratic rebirth for a nation barely out of feudalism. But these hopes were not the dreams of the royal court, where Louis ruled by divine right. The magnificence of the Versailles Palace reflected only the reality blinding glitter of decadent opulence. Behind the gilded mirrors, however, lay the unreflected truth that would soon bring all of this to an inglorious end, with the collapse of the entire social order into revolution and chaos.
We'll see.
Your Majesty makes fortune blush.
Oh, you bring me good luck, Madame de Polignac.
Les jeux sont faits. King, Your Majesty loses.
I'm ruined again. Well, we shall have to tell the poor man that I can't pay my debts and he'll have to pay them for me. After all, I am his wife.
am well aware, Monsieur Necker, that we have important matters to discuss.
The plain fact, Your Majesty, is that the nation as a whole is sliding deeper into debt by the day. The costs of the court, Her Majesty's personal expenses, our participation in the American War of Independence, the cost of which came to a total of 2,000 million livres. Prospects for the future, sire, if I may sum up with total honesty, are somewhat worse than bleak.
What then is your advice, Monsieur Necker?
Frankly, sire, as I see it, there are two options. One is to repudiate our debts and let the consequences fall where they may.
No, Monsieur Necker. Your other option?
To call the Estates General, sire. It is the only body in the land with power to raise the kind of taxes needed to pay off Your Majesty's debts.
But we haven't had recourse to such a measure in 150 years, Monsieur Necker.
Sire, there is no alternative.
My good people, we gather here today, the 6th of March, to draw up the official list of grievances for this parish. All men of 25 years or more who are registered taxpayers are invited to make their feelings known.
I'm standing for
election.
It is
our solemn duty to make His Majesty the King fully aware of all that is not well within his kingdom. In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
I've had enough of lugging stones around just to please his lordship.
Yeah, he's right. You mean you'd like to see the abolition of useless chores?
That's it. Right. And the salt tax, too. Why should we be forced to buy salt that's half rotten and filthy? Yes.
Gentlemen, give us time to write, I beg you.
Equality of taxation. I'm a doctor and I pay taxes, so why should the nobility and the clergy be exempt?
Yes, right. Absolutely. And why do you have to be a member of the nobility to get a commission in the army? There should be free access to all ranks of the army, the civil service, and the church.
The church?
Absolutely.
Right.
Why not?
What have you written, Camille Desmoulins?
No more privilege, no more indignities, and equality for everyone.
That's right. And freedom too!
This is a thoroughly uncivilized custom. There must be something in court etiquette about milking these things gracefully.
Mother! Mother! Look! I'm riding all by myself.
This is a truly wonderful day, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, soon we shall all go hunting with His Highness.
Thank you very much. You have elected me. Thank you for your confidence. I shall fight. The Third Estate will fight for your rights.
I envy him. Off to Versailles. Don't take defeat too hard, Camille. You did your best. Anyway, it's a good excuse. Leave Paris to come home to Guise.
Sans défaut!
Rabbit done the way you like it, and a flan. Come back soon.
To cover the rent you owe.
Thank you, Father. Thank you.
Danton, take my advice. Stand as a deputy for Paris, but now. Otherwise you'll be too late. Look at the stuff being written now. I mean, there's going to be a change.
What do you mean, change? The clergy and your people will always outvote the commons in the assembly, no matter how many of them there are.
My people?
Yes, the nobles, Monsieur de Mirabeau. 2 against 1. And it always will be.
That's what you think, it is? I've just been elected to the commons. Yes! For how long do you think that the ruling classes will be able to cling to their privileges? The whole world is changing. Look at America.
Privilege will never be abolished. It might change hands now and then, but it won't change. The most we can hope for is a little spreading around of good things. No. I won't give up my career for that.
Look at that. She's got a sister, you know.
Really?
How about making a night of it, no?
Well, why not? I have some work to do, and anyway, I have to meet some friends. Your radicalism is quickly forgotten when a pair of tits heaves into view, right?
2 pairs of tits.
Oh, even better. Mademoiselle?
That's for you.
Aurora, qui veut m'amoura? Scélérat, scélérat, scélérat. Le montra, on nous aura. Aurora, qui veut m'amoura? On sera les affaires.
The baker's locked his door again! We want bread!
Hey, Camille, what's this? You stuck up to talk to your old friends now?
I wasn't elected.
Camille, they're idiots. They don't know a damn thing.
Aurora, qui veut m'amoura? Tirez tous les scélérats.
Camille, you're not at Versailles?
Not this time. I lost.
The Sire, go to your room. At once. As for you, you gutless good-for-nothing, if you make any attempt to see my daughter again, I shall have you whipped and arrested as a common criminal. Do I make myself clear?
Monsieur, I beg you to believe that I care very deeply for your daughter. When did you start calling yourself de Danton?
When I started trying to make money in this business. Any more stupid questions? Thank you. for you. This you can deal with, your Varenne. I know that's rubbish. That's for you, Camille. Read it. Write me a summary. Come over here, Camille. Here. There's a grain merchant making a claim. Call himself Vicomte to something or other. He's a bloody fool, but he pays well.
Me! I don't hoard food like some people! You know that, Danton! Tell them!
They killed that baker the other day. The one we all knew was hoarding grain. I don't blame them. They should kill all these profiteering bastards. String them up. Make an example of them. If I had my way,
You can cut out your usual speech, Marat. Legendre is an honest man. We all know that.
What's the difference to a starving mob?
How is she? Does she live?
Probably not. She has 2 broken ribs as well.
I trust that all 3 orders here before me will cooperate for the general good of the state. I declare myself the first of the friends of my people, and welcome you, the representatives of the nation I have the glory to command by divine right.
That's Lafayette.
Market Lafayette? Who is in America?
Yes, Your Highness. The hero of the American War of Independence.
Gentlemen, it is to remedy a deficit that has caused so much comment in Europe that His Majesty has sought to hear your views.
Who are those gentlemen in black?
But how?
Representatives of the Third Estate, Your Highness.
Can I omit to pay homage?
What is the Third Estate?
French genius.
All those who are neither nobles nor priests.
Is that many people?
Exception of balancing the budget. It is therefore right and proper that I make known to you in some detail the absolute necessity of this financial assistance, to which you owe the precious advantage of being convened by His Majesty. That each of the 3 orders meets in separate session. That the Third Estate place their trust in the nobility and the clergy, and that those later will respect the wishes already expressed in all quarters of the country for a willing and universal abandonment of their advantages.
It's hard to Versailles, but it's comfortable, without costing a fortune. Have a seat.
Oh, I prefer the bed.
If you don't mind raw eggs.
On the contrary.
You're a lawyer now, they tell me.
Like you. Except I made the mistake of setting up in Paris. Too many lawyers and not enough clients. They want you to vote by order? Is that it?
The clergy and the nobility against the rest of us, making 2 votes against 1. According to those rules, we'll always be the losers. Whereas if it is 1 man, 1 vote, we have a majority.
But Necker is no fool. That's what he wants.
He means well, but he's a banker, and a Swiss banker to boot. The trouble is they don't live in the same world as the rest of us.
So?
So. It'll be enough if the poorest of the lower clergy come over to us. Then, if we don't get some promise of change, we won't come up with the money. Simple as that.
Remember old Pegleg at school? What is the third estate?
Nothing.
And what does it want?
Everything.
Louis le Grand. Seems a long time ago. But you haven't changed. Still as neat and tidy. Your hair as perfect as ever.
My one indulgence. But you too, you haven't changed a bit.
Tibi, Domine, commendamus animam famili tui. Ludovicus Josephus Xavierus. Ut defunctus seculo tibi viva. Tu venia misericordissime pietatis absterge. Per Christum Dominum nostrum. Amen.
We must reject any accord with the third estate. We must continue to insist that all 3 orders sit separately.
No? There's not a single man in that room with an ounce of sympathy for what we are trying to achieve.
That surprises you? And you?
My position
lies between the hammer and the anvil.
Otherwise I would have joined you already.
Of course. If the king fails to understand their folly and make them understand it, he will be the loser.
The Abbot Sires has the floor.
Are we not the authentic voice of France? It is simple. We appeal once more to the nobles and the clergy to join with us. And if they still refuse, then they have forfeited their rights. And we, the third estate, constitute ourselves. In the name of the Almighty, gentlemen, you are welcome.
And the clergy who have so far joined them claim to represent 96% of the nation. They propose setting themselves up as a National Assembly, regardless of your Majesty's assent.
It is exactly as I predicted.
It seems to me, Monsieur Necker, that the best course open to me is to address a joint session of all 3 orders and inform them that their actions are illegal.
Forgive me, Sire, but I feel this is a situation which requires diplomacy rather than confrontation. You could be...
Confrontation is all that's left to us, Monsieur Necker. confrontation and obedience by force, if necessary.
Open up! Open up! The key! Open the door! Open them!
Heaven's name, what is happening? Tell me.
We're locked out by order of the king. It's an outrage!
To the court! To the tennis court!
He's right! To the tennis court! Changing room, gentlemen. Saeed, the floor is yours. Please. Quiet, gentlemen, please. Let us take an oath, here and now, never to separate until we have given France a constitution!
I therefore declare void, illegal, and unconstitutional the decisions of the so-called National Assembly, which has met regardless of my authority. I alone am the guardian of my people's well-being. And if you abandon me in this great enterprise, then you will be abandoned, not I. I order you to disperse at once and to present yourselves tomorrow morning in the appointed chambers of your own orders, there to resume your separate deliberations.
By what right, sir, do you occupy this seat?
My name is Bailly. I am an astronomer, a member of the Academy of Sciences, and a representative of Paris. These gentlemen have elected me President of the National Assembly.
You have all heard the King's order to disperse.
I do not believe, sir, that the assembled nation has to take orders from anyone.
Go tell those who sent you that we are here by the will of the people, and we shall leave only at the point of the bayonet.
He wished to stay.
Yes, sire.
Very well. To the devil with them. Let them stay.
truly believe there is no great challenge to the monarchy in what the Commons are doing. Only a request for your Majesty's recognition of their place in the lawful order of government.
They are demanding a share in power with the king. And that is treason. The whole lot of them should be hanged. As an example.
An example? But if the people side with the Commons...
You must bring up troops.
I must advise against that, sire.
Obviously. We must try to find some compromise.
There's no compromise.
Except time. If your words are to be believed, Monsieur Necker, His Majesty cannot oppose this assembly without endangering his position even further. Surely, therefore, he should not attempt to do so, but rather agree to their demands, for now, and prepare to meet their next demands with strength.
It seems, rather, that Her Majesty has understood the situation better than any of us.
They don't understand.
Go back to where you came from with your bayonets up your arm!
Therefore, we ask, why a king who is loved by 28 million Frenchmen should surround the throne at such great expense with several thousand mercenaries, because that is what they are, paid for by the people of France, to rob them of their rights.
All I am saying, sir, is that the intervention of foreign regiments seems to me ill-advised.
Provincial regiments, Monsieur Necker. Not foreign. Regiments whose loyalty I can rely on in case of insurrection in the capital.
Now, the people look not at the uniforms, but at the men wearing them. They see Swiss and German troops, most of whom don't even speak a word of French. They see not the undoubted love which your Majesty feels for them, but only the signs of tyranny, which your enemies wish them to see.
That is not my judgment, Monsieur Necker, nor the judgment of others whom I trust.
Then, your Majesty, I have no alternative but regretfully to offer you my resignation.
And I, Monsieur Necker, accept it.
Le palais royal est un beau quartier. Toutes les jeunes filles à marier. Mademoiselle Lily est la préférée de Monsieur
De mon courrier de Versailles.
Doucement, doucement, doucement. Ah,
My brothers, citizens, I come from Versailles. The king has dismissed Necker. No! Yes, citizens, it's the signal for a St. Bartholomew's Day massacre of patriots. Tonight, the battalions of Swiss and Germans will march from the Champ de Mars to cut our throats. We have only one chance to save ourselves. To arms! To arms! The whole of Paris must take up arms! Citizens, But we must also know our friends. Let all who are prepared to fight proclaim it proudly with defiance. Wearing this green cockade, green, the color of hope. Let it be our symbol, our uniform, the sign of victory. The police are here! Yes, I am the one speaking up for liberty. You won't take me alive. I will die before I see France enslaved. George, the king has dismissed Necker. If he uses his troops, he's going to get more than he bargained for. Come on! George!
My friend, you'll have memoirs to write later. Come.
I don't know anything. Wait, here.
An armed militia tonight in the Cordelier.
And you are in command.
Right.
We come from the Palais Royal. They're calling for insurrection.
Why?
The king has dismissed the camp. Why? I don't know. I don't know any more than that. The king has dismissed the camp.
Look out! They're coming!
On the wishes of the people, expressed by their legally elected representatives. Shall we let tyranny triumph over liberty? One day destroy our hope of seeing free people born in France. No! I want every man here to volunteer. We will show all mankind we have no fear of this scum and riffraff preparing to attack our city. Let me pass! They all want a side. Order, citizens! Shake up this regime, don't worry.
My name is Junio. I was a distiller in Santo Domingo. They call me the American. Where do we find weapons?
Guns from Les Invalides and the powder from the Bastille.
Lieutenant. Any problems? Only one, sir. If I give the order, will they fire? Surely the Swiss will obey orders? Yes, my men, of course. But as for the rest of them, how should they?
The Bastille! We want the Bastille! Remove the cannon!
Let the delegation from the Permanent Committee of the Hotel de Ville through!
Move! Move! Go on, move! Let these gentlemen from the hotel come in. Move! Make way!
Make them remove the cannon!
Yes! Remove the cannon!
I've never even heard of your committee.
The Paris electors have been assembled at the Hôtel de Ville since yesterday and have designated a permanent committee to ensure that order is maintained in the capital.
Are you here to force a confrontation or to seek ways of avoiding one?
We are not here to make threats.
Then we are agreed upon essentials. Gentlemen, I was about to begin lunch. Would you do me the honor of joining me?
What are they up to?
They're still inside.
Have they been arrested or what?
I don't know.
We want the Bastille!
It's obvious to us now, monsieur, that you are not hostile to the people of Paris. So I say to you, show it. Withdraw your cannon. The Permanent Committee requests it.
But the cannon have always been there.
As a permanent threat to the people, it's intolerable.
They can't even be fired. You saw them. They won't hit anybody from there.
Nonetheless, they are an insult to the people.
You must withdraw them, Governor. In short, you are asking me to make a gesture.
A gesture of goodwill.
My compliments to Lieutenant de Flue. Request him to withdraw the cannon. And block up the embrasures?
Monsieur, my committee could not have asked for more.
Come with me! What's going on? Give us a delegation! Shouting a cannon! My God, they're going to fire! What to warn the district?
Do you know how many prisoners we have here? 7. 7 prisoners. 4 of them are forgers, brought in from other prisons. One's a murderer. And there's a crazy Irishman who thinks he's Julius Caesar.
Let me through. I know the governor. I can talk to him. He's a friend. Let the delegate from the district through. Let me through.
You see, Monsieur Thuriot, I have kept my promise.
You must surrender your fortress, monsieur.
That was not part of our agreement.
The permanent committee of the Hôtel de Ville...
Bastille is in our district. And the district demands that the doors of the Bastille be opened to the people.
You must understand, gentlemen, that with all these new authorities, it is exceedingly difficult for an officer of the king to know where his duty lies. Open the door to the people? I cannot.
Bring down the bridges! We want the Bastille! They're waving us in! Let's go!
I don't understand. They're advancing instead of going back.
So this is the way you negotiate.
I'll go down and talk to them.
Right, I'm sure.
Take up your positions. Take aim.
Take aim! You're not going to fire on them.
Don't worry. I just want to show them that the Bastille can defend itself.
Hold your fire until I give the order.
Sir, if you have any authority over your district, is that what you call it? Then order your people to move back. Tell them that I have sworn not to fire first. Sir. Gentlemen.
Choice. Take aim!
No. It would be a slaughter.
As you were! Governor, if you don't give the order, we're through.
Take aim!
Take aim! Fire! Fire, for God's sake!
Doing? We are safe.
Long live the king. Governor! I have a message from the governor! Get me a plank!
Cease fire! Cease fire! Steady, lads.
This is the governor's message. Listen, we have 20,000 barrels of gunpowder. Either you accept to surrender, or we will blow up the lot and you with it. Citizens, no surrender. They must lower the bridges. Lower the bridges.
Sorry, sir. We can't let you do it. Good dogs.
My diary, if you'd be so kind. A pleasant afternoon, Clary. Not a very successful one. Not even a rabbit.
Sire. Sire.
What is it?
Sire, the Parisians have taken the Bastille.
Taken the Bastille? What for? Is it an uprising?
No, sire. A revolution.
If the king's regiments in Versailles want to destroy liberty, then let them come here and
I want to see the barricade in the Cordelier district, the highest in all Paris.
There are too many dead, too many.
What do you think? You are going to get the world you want? Without seeing a few heads? Cracked open?
At least things can't be the same ever again.
That's one thing I'm sure of.
There is wine for anyone who's thirsty. Vive Danton! Vive Danton!
Thanks. Gabrielle, you're more beautiful than ever.
Open the gate.
You only have to ask and I will stay.
Write to me when you reach Basel.
I'll be there in a week. You must persuade the king to leave for Metz. You must.
He prefers to go to Paris for a reconciliation with those loyal subjects as soon as he's dead.
I cannot leave you.
Kiss me. Go safely.
Oh. Huh? you sure you don't want to leave too?
I can't leave your majesty here alone. I'm sorry, I just can't.
Oh, my friend. My dear, dear, faithful friend.
There will be no displays of loyalty to the king.
Your Majesty, these keys were presented to King Henry IV when he recovered his kingdom. Today, it is the people who have recovered their king.
So, you are the mayor of Paris, Monsieur Bailly?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Until now, there was no mayor in Paris.
It is the wish of the people that there should be one.
If that is the wish of the people...
If Your Majesty would be good enough to follow me.
Ah, Monsieur Lafayette, I believe you too have things to tell me.
Your Majesty, the volunteers who came to the defense of Paris have taken the name of National Guard and have chosen me as their general.
National Guard?
Naturally, Sire, I could only accept such a commission with your agreement.
So, I must congratulate you, General.
Sire, the Parisians, who are the Friends of Liberty, have adopted the colors of the capital, blue and red.
So I have noticed.
However, I have had them add the white of the monarchy.
Fine idea, Monsieur de Lafayette. Fine idea.
If Your Majesty were willing to fix this cockade to his hat, the joy of his loyal subjects would be complete.
Well, perhaps you would fix it there yourself? Gentlemen, I, in turn, have some news to convey to you. I have ordered the withdrawal of troops currently camped around the city. And I have this morning written to Monsieur Necker asking him to resume his position in the government.
On liberty!
Monsieur le Comte, no more drudgeries. It's too late now.
These attacks on noble properties across the nation are not acts of common vandalism. On the contrary, they fill us with pride. They are the funeral pyres of
privilege. Tell the people you admit the injustice of those rights acquired in the dark days of ignorance.
Our colleague from Britannia is right. The people's anger is a righteous anger. I, Vicomte de Noailles, propose that all privileges of the nobility be abolished.
Comte de Beauharnais proposed that posts should henceforth be open to all, nobles and commoners.
I, Duke de la Rochefoucauld-Liancourt, ask that this assembly abolish finally and forever the enslavement of Negroes, whose wretchedness must never more blind us to their rights as human beings.
I, Bishop of Nancy, renounce all the livings which the Church has assumed falsely for too long.
Marquis de Blacon, demand that the provinces abandon of their own accord the privileges they have enjoyed for so long. I speak to you who come from Brittany. Do you willingly abandon your privileges?
Yes! Yes!
And you from Artois?
Yes!
Provence?
Yes!
Auvergne?
Yes!
They're drunk on fine words and good intentions, and now they're going to wake up with a hangover and go back on everything they said.
Yes.
Citizens, listen to me. The Assembly has decreed freedom of worship.
As if anybody gives a damn.
More important, they've decreed freedom of the press!
I'll start my paper, Georges. I've already got the name. Revolutions of France and Provence.
Right, Camille. That is what you do best.
I shall listen to the people and write about their hopes, their fears, their joys, but to understand them, not manipulate, without distorting the truth or betraying my own conscience.
I find you the money.
You should have left with the others. I feel nothing but hatred and suspicion all around. I'm afraid for you.
Madam, I shall not leave Versailles until you do.
I cannot leave without the poor man.
Then you must persuade him.
I shall try. France. It was such a beautiful country. I've loved it so much. I wish it could have loved me.
The representatives of the people of France formed into a National Assembly, considering that ignorance, neglect, or contempt of human rights are the sole causes of public misfortune and corruptions of government, have resolved to set forth in a solemn declaration these natural imprescriptible, and inalienable rights of man. Gentlemen, I ask you to stand. First article. Men are born and always continue free and equal in respect of their rights. Civil distinctions, therefore, can be founded only on public utility. And these rights are liberty, property, security, and resistance of oppression. The nation is essentially the source of all sovereignty. Political liberty consists in the power of doing whatever does not injure another. What is not prohibited by the law should not be hindered. The law is an expression of the will of the community, and all being equal in its sight, are equally eligible to all honors, places, and employments. No man should be accused, arrested, or held in confinement, except in cases determined by the law. Every man is being presumed innocent till he has been convicted. No man ought to be molested on account of his opinions, not even on account of his religious opinions. The unrestrained communication of thoughts and opinions being one of the most precious rights of man, every citizen may speak, write, and publish freely, provided he is responsible for the abuse of this liberty in cases determined by the law. Public force being necessary to give security to the rights of men and of citizens, that force is instituted for the benefit of the community. The right to property being inviolable and sacred, no one ought to be deprived of it, except in cases of evident public necessity, legally ascertained, and on condition of a previous just indemnity.
I have done my best, but I will not sign, Monsieur Necker, neither the decree on the abandonment of privileges nor the rights of man. What will the church live on without its tithes, or the petty nobility without the dues of its peasants?
I am bound to remind your majesty that it is the nobles and the clergy themselves.
I know, but why the rights of men? I am the king. How can anyone divide what is absolute?
Your majesty should not underestimate the risk.
Which is precisely why I have summoned the regiment of Flanders to Versailles. I know I can count on their loyalty.
Yes, government is an art, my friends, and the art consists in finding precisely the right balance between the executive and the legislative.
Is that why you want the king to keep his right of veto?
Whether it be a king or a president or something else is absolutely immaterial. Listen, an assembly which is all-powerful and without restraints would be an absolute disaster.
Why?
Because you're concentrating all your power in one place. You see, what is really important is sovereignty. And this sovereignty must be shared between the king and the assembly.
That's impossible.
Well, in that case, you're going to get an even worse dictatorship. I'm awaiting my confessor. Forgive me, my duke. A little patience. I've nearly finished my work.
I'll wait for you. Gabrielle Honoré, I'll give you 5 minutes more.
What's the difference?
All right. I've tried to make it less uncompromising, but if you can't put your name to that, then I can't change it anymore.
Let me look at it. Oh, no. Oh, this is excellent. As always, I'll certainly put my name to there.
As usual. You get your own way.
And for once, you've got a square meal.
You're a corrupting influence, Monsieur Mirabeau.
If it's of any comfort to you, sir, nothing that you can see in this house is paid for. Except, of course, you. Even the servants are beginning to worry about their wages.
How do you do it?
Ah, my friend, the difficulty of juggling with 6 balls at the same time, of which 2 are inevitably your own.
Ah! You're going to confess again?
Yes, yes. I find that I've neglected 1 or 2 items.
I propose a toast to the health of the king. To Her Majesty the Queen. Long live the king. Long live the queen.
Gentlemen, rise. I beg of you.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
It's so wonderful to be among true friends.
Madame, we'll give the last drop of our blood in your Majesty's service.
Are you all right? Where do you live? Look at me. I want to help you.
She hasn't had anything to eat for 3 whole days.
Long live the queen. Long live the king. Down with the assembly. To hell with the tricolor!
Gentlemen, I shall never forget this. Never.
And yet another outrage from the Austrian woman, who is actually organizing her own counter-revolution. Exclamation mark. After a revolution.
Mama has everything on the Versailles banquet.
I know. I know. People of Paris, the events at Versailles are an insult to liberty. I call for rebellion. No. Insurrection. Insurrection. That's better. To arms. To arms.
To arms twice.
And again! To arms.
Is this for the paper?
The greatest of all. The walls of Paris.
Not march on Versailles and demand the king feed his people, then we will!
Come on! Let's go get the baker and his wife! And the baker's boy!
To Versailles!
Orders from the Commune. You are to take 2 delegates and lead the National Guard to Versailles and bring the king and his family back to Paris.
We are the king's guard! Jailers.
Listen! Listen! Quiet!
The men of Paris are marching on Versailles for bread. You must march too for honor. The cause we have fought for is lost. If you do not show that we will fight and fight again to keep what we have won.
Starvation is their weapon. Millers are being bribed not to make bread and paid to hoard wheat.
Names. Give us their names.
We are not informers.
This is the assembly. These people are telling you the truth.
It's the truth! Listen to these people! Listen to them!
We want bread! All we want is bread!
And send away that treacherous regiment of Flanders!
It is right! These women are doing our duty! Shall we beg them or desert them? Make up your minds! No!
Give them a hearing! Make way for the President of the Assembly! Stand back! Make way! Get back! Make way! Stand back! Let us pass!
These women are with me.
No more than 4 and no weapons.
You, and you.
On her! I want to see the big too!
Come with me.
That's it! Find your battle!
Ladies, it gives me great pleasure to receive you here. What can I do for you?
Your Majesty, these 4 have been chosen to speak for the women of Paris, and the Parisians as a whole are anxious for His Majesty's acceptance of the Declaration of the Rights of Man and other articles which...
Perhaps His Majesty would prefer to hear from the women themselves what brings them here.
Well?
Your Majesty. Bread.
So, quickly, so we should get a position. Here we are, Miss Meunier, with more problems. Bread? You shall have bread. I promise you all, you shall have bread.
Here, Charles. I beg you not to stay. Come with us.
I am the king. I cannot become a fugitive.
Better that than a prisoner. At least you could try for the...
Your Majesty, the people are blocking the stables. It is impossible to leave.
So you see, we were dreaming to think we still had a choice. Where are my spectacles? Would you have the kindness, Monsieur Meunier, to read me your text once again?
I accept purely and simply the articles of the Constitution and the Declaration of the Rights of Man, which the National Assembly has presented to. Is that acceptable to His Majesty?
Does that matter any longer?
It's not bad.
Majesty, as you see, has already signed the document.
His Majesty will be remembered as the greatest of his country's monarchs.
Bread and flour are on the way to Paris.
Perhaps now everyone can go home, Monsieur de Lafayette.
Sire, these two gentlemen are commissioners from the Commune of Paris.
And what do the people of Paris require of me?
The people wish, Sire, for the King's safety to be entrusted to the National Guard.
You may arrange it, Monsieur de Lafayette.
And also they demand the dismissal of the King's troops, whose presence here is an insult to the people.
Is that all?
The people of Paris also want their king to return to the capital.
That demands reflection. It has been a long day. We shall speak again in the morning. Good night, Monsieur de Lafayette. Gentlemen.
I beg your Majesty, allow me to keep watch outside your bedchamber.
No. It'll only help to fuel their hatred. Get some sleep, Axel. I shall try to do the same.
Thank God. Hello, handsome. Want a little fun? What about your friends? Go in. Come here. This way. Come on! Let's wake up the fat pig! I'm your
Majesty, come. Let's take refuge with the king. Quickly. Open the door! Open up for the queen!
What shall we do, Monsieur d'Aguesseau?
Die, if we must, Your Majesty.
Vive
men with me, clear the chateau!
Your Majesty, forgive me. They gave me the word there would be no further violence.
And you, Monsieur de Lafayette, chose to believe them.
Lafayette is on their side! He's making fools of you! The king has gone away! There's nobody there! Look!
Your Majesty must appear on the balcony, otherwise we cannot control them.
No, Louis, don't. They'll kill you.
Sire, I beg you. I do not believe that they wish you any harm.
The king agrees. Go home to Paris. The king will follow.
They're lying! If we leave, they'll run! Marat is right! Don't leave!
You have the king's promise.
Where is the Austrian woman? She's already escaped!
Your Majesty, I beg you. It's madness.
Voilà. Yes. Beg me if you want your sugar. Come on. Come on. Beg. Beg. Come on. Ah, good boy.
3 sous. 3 sous. General Lafayette's portrait for 3 sous. Ask for General Lafayette's portrait. Only 3 sous.
Oh, God! General Lafayette's portrait for 3
Papa, look! Are they going to guard the king?
Oh, that's right.
Is he there now, the king?
He's always there. That's his house. The Tuileries Palace.
I had begun to find the idea of hanging increasingly uncivilized. Therefore, I commenced work with my illustrious colleague, Dr. Louis, on the machine you see here. The condemned are decapitated by this simple mechanism. You feel practically nothing, only a slight chill on the back of the neck, a compassion to which all men should be entitled. I feel sure your Majesty would agree. It's clean, swift, and efficient.
I am impressed, Monsieur Guillotin. But perhaps I may make one slight suggestion. I have some small reputation in matters mechanical.
I should be honored to have your Majesty's opinion.
The problem is here. The blade will cut better if it is straight-edged instead of curved, and at an angle. Like a saw.
An admirable suggestion, sire.
You ink the print, close the press, and the text is reproduced on the page. The papers go out from here. What I write is on the streets within an hour. My office.
Is there an office? Goodness me.
Well, it's all very impressive, I'll give you that, Desmoulins, but must you be so extreme in the views you express? Look, now, the most practical method of hanging aristocrats is to suspend them from street lamps. I mean, really, is that necessary?
The principle is sound, though we needn't take it seriously.
Representative to the Provisional Commune, at your service.
Oh, I'm sorry. Madame, Mademoiselle, Monsieur, as always, a great honor.
You are elected.
A modest beginning. But from now on, our friends in the committees are going to have Danton to contend with. I invite everybody to a celebration.
No, thank you, sir. We have an appointment. Come, my dear. Lucille?
I'll join you, Monsieur Danton.
Fine. Camille?
Be so good as to wait here, sir.
I hope your Majesty will permit me to say that you are looking more beautiful than ever. I trust that His Majesty and you, ma'am, are enjoying your few days of rest in St. Cloud.
Are you aware, Monsieur de Mirabeau, that we had virtually to beg Monsieur Bailly and Monsieur de Lafayette to let us out of our imprisonment in Paris?
You were never for a moment constituted prisoner.
What do you want here?
I want you to trust me, Your Majesty.
Why should I? You who are one of the chief authors of our troubles.
Have you read any of the secret letters which I sent to the king?
Yes, I have.
And you're still not convinced of my wish to save the monarchy?
How can I believe in your sincerity?
But denounce my presence here tonight, madam.
You betray both sides.
Is that supposed to reassure me? According to you, what must now be done?
Accept the Constitution.
You mean our ruin?
Your salvation.
You're fond of paradox, monsieur.
Have confidence, madam, in your own people. Throw yourself into their arms. They will open their hearts to you. The king will still reign, but through the Constitution. Oh, I know there are many people who are willing to lay down their lives to preserve the crown.
If I listen to you, I shall end up believing the impossible.
Untitled Chapters. Let's get to work.
Speak to yourself, you lazy bum.
Hope you won't be too tired later.
I'm sure you are. But I wouldn't miss this for all the lovemaking in the world.
Some of these people probably used to hate each other. Now they're working side by side to celebrate the first anniversary of the Revolution.
Yes. Everything has changed, you see. The way we think has changed. It's the end of a long night. The dawn of brotherhood. Last.
Lucille, your mother and I have been talking. Camille, if you still wish to marry our daughter, then you do so with our blessing.
She will lack for nothing, sir, I promise you.
I know, my boy. I'm giving her a dowry of 100,000 livres.
Oh, my
Dear Robespierre, there goes the hero of our revolution.
But for how long, my friend?
Lafayette!
Vive Lafayette! Vive Lafayette!
I swear to be forever faithful to the nation, to the law, and to the king, to maintain the Constitution decreed by the National Assembly and accepted by the king, to protect the safety of persons and property in accordance with the law. I swear to remain forever bound to all Frenchmen by the unbreakable bond of brotherhood. People of France, who are gathered here from all over the land, I ask you now to repeat with me the same oath. I swear it. I swear it.
Look at them. They want to remain slaves. And they will too, unless we're vigilant.
People of France, I ask you now to listen in silence to the oath taken by the King of the French.
I, King of the French, swear to employ the power entrusted to me under the law in maintaining the Constitution decreed by the National Assembly and accepted by me.
My son and I take the oath with the king. Here is my son.
Lafayette told us so proudly was put down by his cousin, General the Marquis de Gouillet. I am going to tell you what it was. They had the audacity to ask for their miserable pay, which had been stolen from them by their own officers for months. They rebelled against corruption and theft. They had faith in justice, which revolution failed to give them. What deception, what a bitter blow. More than a year ago, the women of Paris went to Versailles to fetch the king. And what has changed since then? Nothing. The same abuses, the same tyranny. And why? Because the king is still surrounded by the same ministers who lied to him and betrayed us. I speak for Paris, and Paris demands their dismissal.
Do you take yourself for Paris, monsieur? You alone?
Better, sir, than you who take yourself for God. Their dismissal. The dismissal of the Minister of War, Monsieur de la Tour du Pin, and the Minister of the superior, le Comte de Saint-Prix, and the Chief of the Field, Monsieur Champion de Cissé.
Paper? You know perfectly well I asked for gold.
These vouchers are more valuable than gold. They are exchangeable for everything that you have confiscated from the church. A fortune, whenever you want it.
Well, if you say so, my dear Montmorin. Know that your situation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is secure, for the time being. The Assembly is well satisfied with the dismissal of your colleagues. And you can assure His Majesty that I shall continue to do everything within my power to help. To France.
To France.
I have it! I have it! Here is the sacred object conquered in the heat of battle. It bears the inscription, "Let us unite for life."
Make a wish, Abbé.
I hope Lucille will allow me, as the oldest of Camille's friends, yes, to propose the first toast. To the bride.
To the bride. The pretty bride.
And I bless this marriage doubly because it has allowed me to meet a man I admire very much.
And if the Cordelier section holds the title of the most patriotic in Paris, it is thanks to you.
Vive Georges!
And I drink to our friend Mirabeau, who is too ill to be with us today. To his speedy recovery. Mirabeau!
You know what people are saying about me?
No, I don't.
Well, they're saying I'm only dying in order to avoid paying my debts.
And is it true?
Of course it's true. Unfortunately, you can only die once.
For you, they will make an exception. Your doctors don't know what they're talking about, and you will be playing this scene forever.
I beg your pardon. I didn't realize you were occupied. I shall give myself the pleasure of calling back later.
No, it's no accident. No accident, you being here together, united. Before I die, I must know that the two of you will be allies. Otherwise, the last hope of saving the monarchy will die with me. Without the crown, all that has been achieved will collapse into anarchy. But you both know that.
As long as I live, the crown will be safe. There will be no collapse into anarchy. Of that, I can assure you.
Because the entire country will be a military dictatorship ruled by you. This is what you are aiming for, and everybody knows it.
Monsieur Danton's own ambitions are well known. I will not lower myself by arguing with him.
Monsieur Danton's one ambition is to see civilian control over constitutional monarchy, and especially over ambitious generals with ideas above their station.
By civilian control, you presumably mean a government that will turn a blind eye to corruption?
On the top of whatever scale you choose to practice it.
Gentlemen! I didn't ask you here so that you could bore me to death with your stupid quarrels. I don't need any help to die, you know. All I hope, all I ask, all I beg of you is that you at least try to work together. That's my last hope. Oh, I can't do any more than that.
Look, Monsieur de Fersen, how well this hairstyle suits my daughter.
Your Highness is as pretty as an angel.
Thank you. Come along, my dear. Let's go and look for your brother. Oh, my dear friend. What would become of me without you?
Monsieur de Bouillé will be waiting for the king at Montmédy. He's sure of the troops and of the hussars, who will ensure your safety on the journey.
Why Montmédy?
Because it is a fortified town, but still in France. Once there, the Emperor will help you. You must convince the king.
Have you forgotten that the poor man changes his mind 3 times a day? Oh, to get away from here, and you to follow me.
My refusal would have set France afire.
His Holiness cannot tolerate the election of his bishops like delegates to the Assembly. His Holiness views with even greater sadness the demands that his priests take an oath to the civil constitution. That could only lead to the sort of schism we saw in England when King Henry VIII broke with Rome.
I am not Henry VIII. I am the most faithful of all the sons of the Holy Father.
His Holiness demands that your Majesty renounce the civil constitution of the clergy.
It's too late. Does the Holy Father wish to see my downfall?
His Holiness will never authorize his priests in France to take this oath.
But it is the only way we shall keep the Church of France together in obedience to Rome. Assure the Holy Father of my personal loyalty. I swear I shall receive Holy Communion only from the priests who remain loyal to Rome.
I shall tell him so.
And now, sir, will you give me your blessing?
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
They're all protecting the king.
Even Danton, for all his fighting talk. Even me.
What do you mean?
Get some paper and a pen. Write. Louis XVI has cravenly betrayed the revolution to Rome and is no longer fit to be trusted by the people of France as a partner in their struggle for freedom.
You're right, Marat. You must not soften now.
Right, please.
Camille du peuple! We barrage attack on the king! Camille du peuple! Camille du peuple! We barrage attack on the king!
You can at least play our song! Yeah! Make him play! Make him play!
General! 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 General, the king has gone.
Gone where?
He's escaped with the queen and the whole royal family.
God in heaven!
Room's the rent! So you let Fat Louis slip away? You're a traitor, Lafayette!
Monsieur de Lafayette, you will answer to us for the king. The people want the king. Or are you ahead?
How could this have happened? If they get across the border, it doesn't bear thinking about. They'll return at the head of an emigre army, and that means civil war.
So you think we should arrest them, the king and his family, for the public good?
We have no choice. But who can give the order? The assembly does not meet before 2 o'clock, and something must be done right away.
Very well. Brahma, take this down. The enemies of the revolution have taken the king.
Nobody has taken the king.
What do you want by? A republic? The end of the monarchy? I repeat. The enemies of the revolution have taken the king. Therefore, the bearer is instructed to warn all good citizens, in the name of their endangered country, to rescue him from their hands and to return him to the safety of the National Assembly. I take upon myself the full responsibility of this order. Dated, I will sign.
Look! They gave me a gold louis.
A louis? Who are they?
Some Russian baroness travelling with her children and servants.
What did they want?
way to Varenne.
Louis? For asking the way? Must be a fake.
Still no sign. The villagers are getting suspicious.
According to Monsieur de Bouillet, they should have been here by 3. They must have changed their plan. We had better go. Forward!
You really think so? If it's true, everything's lost. It's impossible to see. What have we decided? Let's say. It's all behind closed doors. As usual, they tell us nothing.
Henri, is it true the king left the letter? Tell us immediately. Camille, Max, has the assembly confirmed Lafayette's order?
What else could we do? I can't go against the majority.
But you don't believe that pack of lies about the king's abduction?
It's an interesting use of the word. 2 years of work destroyed by this conspiracy. But there is more to it, much more than I can...
Tell me, I shall write it.
Camille, go very carefully. Above all, be very careful what you write. Today we are all in danger.
Why today?
Today more than ever. You don't think the king would have taken a risk like this without powerful support in Paris and in the whole country? Ah, the traitors.
What are they waiting for?
Don't you have
Where is Troy?
Here then.
Are you trying to kill your horse? There's no time to lose. I'm one of Lafayette's officers. He was too exhausted to go on. Have you seen them?
Holy God! I knew it, but I thought... This isn't possible.
What's going on?
Where are you going?
To Frankfurt.
This is not the road. I'm the public prosecutor for the commune of Varenne. Your passport, please. My spectacles. Drive the coach up to my house. Don't let anybody out.
Here, quick.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, citizen, but this passport is perfectly in order. It's even signed by the king.
If you let them go, you'll be leaving yourself open to a charge of treason.
What do we do? They've got them.
Can't do anything. We'd better have warned Monsieur de Bouillet. Come on.
Open it.
Forgive me, I'm only a simple grocer, but my house is clean. Come in, Madame la Baronne, come in.
Good evening, Sire.
Louis Capet. I say Louis Capet advisedly, because in my eyes, Louis XVI no longer exists. Louis Capet must be stripped of his useless title. He must be the last king ever to reign over France.
We don't need the king.
No more half measures, no more compromises. In the face of the indecision, the hypocrisy in the assembly. Cordelier, demand an end to the monarchy. We demand that France should be, from this time, a republic. I propose that a petition should be placed on the altar of the nation in the Champ de Mars to be signed by the people of Paris. Vive la République! Vive la République! Vive la République! Vive la République! Vive la République!
I am informed that an irresponsible group of citizens from the Cordelier section plan to march on the Champ de Mars to proclaim a republic. I must therefore ask you to pass a decree of martial law to suppress all illegal assemblies.
The fact is that France is both a monarchy and a republic. That is the constitution we have been working for these 2 last years.
Yes. We live in an imperfect world. To further the revolution, we need a king. Well, you shouldn't ask for too much.
You think that asking for perfection is too much?
Isn't it?
I believe it is the very purpose of our existence.
Therefore, the demonstration is illegal. Your duty is simple, General. End it.
In the name of the National Assembly, I order you to disperse.
Keep your rank! Let go of me.
Let him go. Go home quietly, all of you. You know me.
You can trust me.
Join us, Lafayette. Then we'll trust you.
I beg you, do not make me use force.
Traitor! You wouldn't dare.
Gentlemen.
Rifles at the ready.
Take aim.
Take aim.
Above their heads. Fire!
They want to frighten us! They're shooting blanks!
Take aim!
Take aim!
Guards! You are citizens! Like us! You can't shoot unarmed men! We're your brothers!
Fire!
Fire!
Fire! Ceasefire! Stop! Ceasefire!
Run away! They'll kill us all! We're going to the country! Come with us! Maxime! Maxime! Maxime!
Monsieur Robespierre, I would be honored if you would accept the safety of my house.
I
fear. You play, my neighbors, you play. And I have a great respect for what you have achieved. I'm a member of the Jacobin Club, as you are.
Well, sir, I thank you. I have a dog at my apartment.
I'll get him later. Quick!
The sewers. You have a visitor, Marat.
Thank you. I heard. You are ill?
A legacy from the sewers of Paris. I should have got out earlier, like you.
Yeah?
Please.
You're from Paris?
Yes. Desmoulins has taken a liking to life in the country. This pretty wife.
The newspaper has been banned. The press is smashed. He has nothing to come back for.
Robespierre is no longer a deputy. He made a fatal mistake with his decree forbidding re-election to the legislature.
I know. A general amnesty has been declared. Are you planning to return?
When I judge the time is right. For the moment, the king is doing our work for us, using his veto to protect the emigre nobles and the priests who put their loyalty to Rome before France.
He's turning the whole country against himself.
Maybe the whole country, but not the rest of Europe. The threat of an invasion is growing. Revolution is seen as a danger to crowned heads everywhere.
And so it is, I hope.
We are in no state to fight a war. And whatever the outcome, it will only benefit the king.
So, what do you suggest?
We go back, where we can do the most good. Back to Paris.
And argue compromise?
Argue caution.
I'm not a cautious man, Danton, but then I've less to lose than you.
That's a matter of opinion.
We have nothing to fear from war, because war alone can purge France of the despotism that still grips her by the throat. Do you wish at one blow to destroy the aristocracy, the defiant priests, all those who oppose the revolution? Then destroy the emigre army that is being assembled as we speak at Koblenz. Only when we have crushed all hope of outside help will this king be forced to rule according to the Constitution.
Listen to me. War is no answer. Listen, Brisson, and all your friends from the Gironde, too. It's intolerable to insist on war from this platform of all places. An offensive war is by nature counter-revolutionary.
Have you so little faith in the revolutionary cause?
Armed invasion does not guarantee the acceptance of laws and the Constitution.
All the people of Europe are looking to us for leadership.
Nobody laughs. Armed missionaries.
Gentlemen, the king.
Be seated. Gentlemen, you have heard the result of the negotiations in which I have been engaged with the court of Vienna. The conclusions have been unanimously approved by my council. They conform with your wishes and with the sentiments expressed to me by a great number of citizens in different parts of the kingdom. All refuse to see the dignity of the French people insulted any longer. Having done my best to maintain peace, as I was in duty bound to do, I have now come, in accordance with the terms of the Constitution, to propose war to the National Assembly.
Leaders of the revolution, if we lose, those who tried to save the monarchy, we must face it.
Don't go. Stay here. Don't go to Paris.
I must go.
Come back soon. Oh, send for me.
I promise. If things go badly, don't hesitate. Remember, there's some money in England.
gezogen! Lass gezogen! Sturm, Angriff! Vorwärts!
En position de tir! À vos commandements!
Deine erste Lehre. Es werden noch viele andere folgen.
Dior has been murdered by his own troops. After his defeat, a general. They have murdered a general.
What have your ministers decided? Tell me.
I can't. I cannot.
Our enemies are inside France. Our friends are outside. I'm writing to my nephew, Emperor Francois. Now tell me, what decisions have been made? You must tell me.
1,000, 2,000, 10,000 heads must roll here in France. What are those few compared to the millions of good Frenchmen who gave their lives on the battlefield, sacrificed by the traitors still amongst us? And the greatest of those traitors is Louis Capet, with his Austrian spy, who calls herself the Queen of France, and his lackey, Lafayette, who even now dares give orders to the Assembly. Do we want a military dictatorship? All because of a capricious king who has once again endangered the security of the nation by using his veto? Down with the king! Down with his veto!
My dears, what a pretty doll. Yeah. What a nice dress she has. Look.
Checkmate.
What can I do for you good people?
We want to see the king!
I'll ask if he's able to receive you.
That's right. Go and ask him for it. On your knees? Nice place he's got, the fat pig.
What is it you want?
The nation pays you 24 million a year to listen to us.
I'm listening.
You've taken us for fools long enough, but it's over now, do you understand? The people demand an end to your veto.
I shall do what the Constitution commands.
For your veto, we'll kill you.
I'm not afraid to die. I received the sacrament this morning.
Dying is the best service you can do this country.
The nation has no better friend than me, monsieur.
Prove it. If you are on the side of the nation, put on the patriot's cap.
Yeah! Willingly.
Long live the nation!
Long live the nation!
What about drinking a toast to the nation? You won't veto that, will you?
It's good wine.
Make way! Make way! Make way for the mayor of Paris!
Make way! Make way!
All right, that's enough. On your way now.
Watch out. All right.
Sire, I cannot tell you how sorry I am. I was informed too late, but...
Do you know who you remind me of? Monsieur Pétion? Monsieur de Lafayette.
That if the persons of their majesties, the king, the queen, and the royal family are once more subjected to the merest outrage or violence, if their safety and liberty are threatened in any way, then their imperial and royal majesties hereby declare their intention to avenge them and to subject the city of Paris to military execution and to condemn the rebels to the death they deserve.
Perfect.
Let us hope, Varenne, that our warning will be heeded.
This document is signed by the Duke of Brunswick himself, the commander of the Prussian army. Brunswick, who's marching on Paris. Brunswick, who dares threaten us? There is only one answer to Brunswick's arrogance. The whole of France will prepare to deliver him the most humiliating of defeats. I propose that the Assembly declare our country in a state of peril. To arms, citizens! To arms, all free men! Defend our liberty!
What's that you're whistling?
I can sing it too.
Well?
Aux hommes, mes citoyens, formez
Come
vos
here.
bataillons.
Listen to this boy.
Marchons, marchons.
Where did you learn that?
In Strasbourg.
Strasbourg?
I'm a carpenter. He taught me.
It could not serve the cause of liberty. But now it must. I thought this country insufficiently prepared for victory. And so it has been until now. But the fatal hour is striking. Victory we must have, and victory we shall have. But we shall not defeat our enemies abroad until we first destroy those here, at home.
I leave you. So now, you agree with Marat?
Not entirely. Marat wants to replace the king with a revolutionary dictatorship. That is no answer.
Tyranny is the same whether exercised by one man wearing a crown or 700 in the colors of the revolution.
And what's your solution?
I put my faith in the Constitution, as I always have. It is imperfect, but it has the makings of perfection in it. I wish for the election of a new national convention based on the principles that the present assembly has lost sight of.
You want to get rid of the king's friends, the ones you allowed to put him back on the throne after Varenne.
Take care. Don't underestimate their strength. Lafayette would like nothing better than the chance to finish the massacre he started at the Champ de Mars.
I would like nothing better than the chance to finish Lafayette.
Is Marseille beautiful?
Is it beautiful? It's as beautiful as Paris with the sea thrown in and the sun! Il est tombé en amour!
L'homme prouvé se paye. L'homme fait rester parisienne. Attention! Men from Marseille, have you eaten well? Have you drunk well? Are you ready to serve Paris? And Paris is counting on you.
Yeah, take it, Camille.
I don't know how to use it.
Oh, I will do it for you. My God.
Take care.
Don't worry.
You frighten me.
It will be over by dawn, and so we have all the time we need to set up our own commune.
Gabriel.
No.
In view of the increasing unrest all over Paris, I propose to authorize the doubling of the National Guard protecting the King at the Tuileries. Additional precautions we may also have to consider include...
Gentlemen, you are dissolved.
I protest at this intrusion.
I register your protest.
As the President of the Council, I advise...
Take my advice. You get out of here. And don't make any trouble. You have 5 minutes.
Gentlemen, my duty compels me to avoid bloodshed. Let us then provisionally make way in the face of greater force. We will resume tomorrow the duties entrusted to us by the Paris electorate.
Don't count on it.
You can be President Danton.
No. We'll proceed with proper elections in due course. Where's Hébert? Excuse me. You preside provisionally. Check the mandates of the section delegates who are here. And I think you need a secretary. Taillon, sit over there. So, the insurrectionary commune is now in session. Gentlemen, be vigilant. And above all, do not permit any reinforcement to the guards. At the palace. I shall deal with the palace myself.
Marseille regiment, come with us!
Let's go! Hurry! Come on, hurry! Take your rifles!
Come on, hurry up! Move! I can't wait to get at them! For the Republic!
I love you,
Come on, Lafayette. Republic is worth losing a few hours sleep for. Come on! Where have you been?
I went to reassure Lucia and Gabriel. I didn't want them to worry about us. Let's go.
No. We are going back to the Hotel de Ville. That's where we must be to hold Paris.
Your Majesty.
Pierre Rodereyer, Attorney General of the Department. I have come to assure Your Majesty's safety.
How admirable. So many people are concerned for my safety. Last night I was promised by Monsieur Mandat, the commander of the National Guard, that there would be extra men posted.
Monsieur Mandat, sire, is dead. He was murdered in front of the Hotel de Ville on the orders of the insurrectionary commune set up by Danton.
So what can I do, sir? My Swiss Guard are not sufficient to defend the palace.
If I were in your Majesty's place...
Yes, sir. If you were in my place...
I would go down and review the National Guard here on duty at the palace. I believe them to be loyal and faithful. It is our last chance.
In that case, I shall gamble my throne on this last chance.
The king! Alert! Turn! Right face!
Down with the king!
Don't expect us to foreign our brothers. Hang the fat pig!
Down with the king! Hang the fat...
Oh, God! Come! Join us!
Come, sire. Come quickly.
Welcome, brothers! Long live the Republic!
All my men are in position, Your Majesty.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Sire, these gentlemen are members of the directory of the department.
The Constitution is bound to assure the freedom of all Frenchmen. I see this does not apply in my case. Well, Monsieur Roederer, what must we do now?
The National Assembly is in permanent session. We suggest that Your Majesty take refuge there with the royal family while there is still time.
No, sir. We are defended here. Why leave?
Ma'am, the whole of Paris is marching on the Tuileries. The Breton and Marseillais federal troops will stop at nothing. See for yourself, ma'am. The whole of Paris, ma'am. Resistance is impossible.
Then we shall go. Come, madame.
Open the gates. The king and his family are going to the National Assembly. I ask you, in the name of the Assembly, to respect their persons.
Gentlemen. Gentlemen, I come here to avoid a great crime. I think I shall no longer be safe except amongst your numbers.
Sire, you may depend upon the courage of the National Assembly.
Please follow me.
Gentlemen, the session continues.
Who will take care of my Swiss guards, my house, and all those we have left behind?
Fate, Sire. Sire, there was no more we could do.
Charles.
Until the National Convention has announced the measures it deems necessary to ensure sovereignty, utterly, the reign and liberty.
Charles. As of this moment, there is no longer a king in France.
Tomorrow night, the boys of summer are back and ready to fly into action against the Texas Rangers. Don't miss the Blue Jays home opener. Then Sunday, Bill Cunningham investigates a brutal murder in the Philippines. Sylvia Sweeney looks at difficulties in collecting child support. And Jim Reed reports on special housing projects for war veterans on W5, here on CTV.
Liberté, liberté, que nous aimons.